Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another pick a card reading for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, this pick a card reading is on what does Mercury retrograde have in store for you and how you need to work with it for your best benefit. So go ahead and take a moment to pause the video when the picture comes up of the cards and center yourself and pick what group or groups you feel pulled to the most, and I will see you back with your messages. For my group number ones, we have the High Priestess, Judgment, the King of Wands, the Sun card, the Ace of Cups, the Child, and the Queen of Air. And what Mercury retrograde is kind of bringing to your forefront is that it's kind of bringing the energy of renewal to you, that there's things that you need to look at and examine, and you are going to be intuitively or like spiritually guided as these things will keep coming up in your mental state, and you're going to be feeling like you are faced to confront these things, that you're going to have some things that you're going to have to confront and review per the Judgment card, which means that this is time for you to be looking at these things and reviewing for change, for transformation, and to, you know, the next level or like the next calling, so to say. Okay, and within the King of Wands, I feel like one, that this whole thing is going to kind of like enrage you in a way with a lot of like fiery energy. There may be some things that you don't want to look at, or there may be some things that you don't want to let go of, because for some of us, I feel like some of you may be having to make a choice here, but there is also a very big need and drive for the energy of happiness and clarity. Okay, so when we are going upon and we are looking at what it is that we are being asked to review, things are going to be uncovered and you are going to begin to see things in a new light. Okay, it may be a better light, it might be a worse light, but nonetheless, there is clarity on things that you are going to be able to see upon looking at these emotions and what it is that you have to review. Now, again, this might cause an emotional outpour or uproar, but it also is going to cause the change that needs to happen for you to go to that next space of evolution. What it was that I was talking about in my video of what Mercury is actually trying to do for all of us, is this evolution for us as people. But anyways, we'll see this energy, this outpour causes the change to spark that evolution. All right, so this is all warranted and all necessary. So all of the healing, or not healing, but heavy feelings that you may be feeling throughout the next 3 weeks, and what is brought to be presented to you is not something that is meant to be shut down. It is something to be looked at and to be examined and noticed, okay, and then dealt with. Now, while we are sitting in this and we are sitting in these heavy feelings that may be enraging to us, or may be and on the flip side, we might not be enraged. We might just be very, very determined to get that clarity and to just spark this change and get things rolling. But nevertheless, the energy that you need to carry is, one, the innocence of a child, and knowing that all things are possible and being whole, again, is possible. So always remember that when we're looking at the things that we need to review, because a lot of times these are things that we need to let go of and change. Okay, so, and it's that we can always be whole again, and it's not that we're ever not whole, it's that we just feel like wounded, and that we can always heal. So we're taking this very innocently, and just kind of also knowing that what it is that should be will be. And to keep your mental state open, to keep your mind open to what it is that Mercury is trying to work for you. Because for some of you, you may feel like, okay, this is not resonating with me anymore, but I don't know what is. And that might be scary, or you might have had this vision that is no longer resonating with you, and it's all that you've ever known. So you do need to stay open-minded to see what it is that the universe has in store for you that you did not even think of. But please just make sure that you are, one, being open-minded, even if you are being a little bit resilient, because the planets and spirit are asking you to really review these things and to almost place judgment upon yourself about these things and about what it is that you need to do about how you want to be living your life for this happiness that you want, and to be able to have clarity to see things and to see what it is that you need to see and change within clarity that you may not have been seeing before. Okay? And this is why we may not be able to see things on the outside situations that are going on as clearly as we would, and we would have hiccups within communicating outwardly, because our planets and our guides and the universe is asking us to take a step back and review what it is that we need to review for our evolution. Okay, so I really want you guys to remember that. Now for my group number 2s, we have the Six of Swords, the Strength card, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the King of Cups, the Two of Air, and the King of Air. Okay, so one, this is saying that we, for my group number 2s, that we really need to have strength within our mental state. And remember the destination of the mental state that you kind of want, that is kind of, like being in a clear, peaceful mental state without a lot of things coming up from beneath the depths trying to bother us. So we need to have strength within our mental state, and one, remember the end goal here of where it is that we want to be mentally. Okay, because I kind of feel like this card for my group number 2s is actually going to be reversed. Like the energy is actually going to be reversed, where it's like your mental state is not harmatic or like smooth sailing or anything like that. It might be kind of wavy and crazy and chaotic. So remember the actual goal on the stillness and the calmness that you want your mental state to be in. And this is where we're exemplifying the energy of strength, because I feel like you have a lot of things that you kind of been holding down or holding on to that are really kind of just busting out into, like, trying to bust up into the surface to be noticed, to be recognized. Now, looking at the King of Pentacles, I kind of felt like this here was a retraction of what it was that he was trying to do outwardly in the physical. So like I had my emphasis here on his hand over this symbol here. And I kind of felt like, although it looks like he's placing his energy here, I kind of felt like he was just kind of needing to take a step back. But his first instinct was to exert himself, and that is a recipe for avoidance. So if you're the type of person that likes to go out and just do because their mind is crazy and chaotic, don't do that, okay? Because we need to be taking this time, we need to be taking that step back and taking this time to really be reviewing our emotions and where it is that we want to go and what it is that we want things to look like. And we need to take that passion that we would, or that, and I say passion not as like passion and motivation that fuels you for like this passion project. I'm talking about the passionate energy that comes from all of those emotions that you're like trying to avoid. So I don't want that to be confused. But we're taking that passion that we're seeing there, that we're feeling from wanting to not feel those feelings, and we're actually looking at them and looking at where we want to go and where it is that we are. But the problem is, and why that sounds so ugly, is the fact that your mental state has been almost in your own perception. So it's been on, it's kind of almost like locked in a cage, and that you can't really see things clearly. You can't see things clearly for what it is that they are and what it is that they could be, because of the emotion that you're feeling. Okay, and that almost like your logic and your emotion are getting their wires crossed, and you're having a really hard time making sense of the things. And that's why you need to take a step back, and instead of trying to, I don't want to say self-sabotage, but I want to say like avoid or cope. We don't want to be adding in the energies of avoiding or coping, because we can't see things properly and we are in a very emotional state. Okay, so we need to be looking at this in like a clear stated mind and a sober state. And we need to find the balance. And how to do this, how we need to work with our energies, is really to be one, find the balance within ourselves and our light and our dark selves, and to stop placing judgment upon the self. Okay, stop placing judgment on what it is that you think things should be and how, or anything like that. And you're looking at where things are in the present moment right now, and you're coming to a place of balance and centering yourself. Okay, so I feel like this is really taking a very big step back. I don't want to say it's self-seclusion or self-isolation that needs to happen, but I feel like there's a really big kind of almost working on becoming whole or balanced within yourself and your mental state. Okay, i.e. the King of Swords, which rules the mental state and logic. So when we come into ourselves as balanced, and this, when we become balanced, we can start to see, like, our logic may start to appear again. We may be able to see things clearly again, because we're not letting the emotion kind of pick us up and carry us away. So really kind of come to a place of being centered. Meditate if you have to. Go and really, I always say this because it is so important and it's so helpful, and it is the easiest way to connect and feel better. Hug a tree, put your feet on the ground, barefoot, whatever it is that you have to do to balance yourself and center yourself and get yourself out of this, like, I don't want to say get yourself out of your mental state, but the overactiveness of a mental state that's triggered by the emotions. Okay? So really pay attention to what, when you come into this balanced place of trying to center yourself and calming yourself, pay attention to what it is that is being spoken to you. And what I mean by being spoken to you is what is coming up. And then take the first thing that's coming up and then start to feel it out and dissect it, because chances are you've like pushed down this emotion for so long, or these thoughts and these feelings for so long, that it's just the trigger that you are aware of and not the depth of it. And there's things that need to be uncovered. That's why there's this strength card here. There's things that need to be uncovered and need to be dealt with, but you're gonna have to listen to yourself to figure it out. Nobody else is gonna be able to tell you how you feel. Nobody else is gonna be able to tell you what it is that you need to do to get these feelings to go away, other than going within in a place where you're not letting your brain carry you away or your emotions carry you away, and you're in a place of balance, so you can start to understand. And then after you start to understand, you can start working towards these things, to what it is that you have to do to come to this place of mental calmness and stability and harmony. Okay, and that is what I'm seeing for my group number 2s. For my group number 3s, we have the Devil card, the Justice card, the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Lovers card, Nine of Cups, not Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Emotion, and the Mother. And I feel like looking at this is that there's really been some things that have been keeping you in the dark and keeping you down. And I feel like per this Mercury retrograde, they're kind of going to be more present. And kind of rearing their ugly head, so to say. And I'm really feeling within the combination to the Devil and the Justice card together is saying that it's almost like it's this, you're being brought this energy of kind of being held, like feeling like you're being held down, or whatever it is that you feel like is stopping you from being able to stand up or move forward within your life. It's time for you to almost like really look at what it is that it's worth, and is it time for you to stand up? This is what Mercury is trying to bring for you, is trying to do for you, is to change how you are doing things within the physical. And I don't want to say like how it is, sorry about that, I had an interruption, but Mercury is trying to almost change the way that you are exerting yourself in the physical, and I don't want to say creating things in the physical, but that is a part of it in a sense. And I almost feel like it's this changing that is happening within your mindset, that there's a change, or like something is like flipping to be completely different than from what it was. And that is part of this justice card. Just karma rules justice, and karma is also connected to divine timing. It's not always about what it is that you've done, good or bad. It also connects into timing as well, and divine timing. Okay, so be mindful of that it is kind of that it's this time for you to review the things that are keeping you pushed down, and look at what it is that's holding you back, to be able to say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to take the stand to stop looking for something that I'm never going to find within whatever the situation is for you, to stop looking for whatever it is that you are not going to find, whatever clarification, whatever it is that you need that is keeping you from moving forward. Realize that it is that you're not going to get the clarification or the closure or whatever it is that you're looking to get out of the situation. That's why the Devil card is here, because it is holding you back and it is holding you down. I see within the Ace of Cups that this is like transformation and rebirth and a new beginning for the way that I feel like that your mental state is working. And I don't want to say like healing in a sense, but healing in a sense. The way that you are operating as a whole, and our thoughts dictate everything that it is that we do, and how strong our mental state is, what our inner dialogue looks like, okay? And I see that this is going to be completely different for you. And then, well, and at least this is what Mercury is trying to do for you if you take the advice, okay? And within this, we're looking at the Eight of Pentacles and the Lover's card with the Nine of Cups as well. This is all talking about happiness and harmony. One, the Lover's card rules harmony and love and outward love and just being encompassed in feelings of love. And Nine of Cups is like, yes, I'm emotionally satisfied. I have everything that I have wanted down to the T. And this is what you are continuing to work towards. You're working towards this happiness and this harmony and just feeling like almost in bliss. Okay, this is what you are working towards. This is what Mercury wants you to work towards. All of the ugliness that you're facing is what you have to get through to get to what it is that you ideally want. All right. Now, how you work with this energy, we have the Emotions card and the Mother card. And one, you have to weigh your emotions, okay? You have to weigh them and balance them. And I'm saying balance them as like when we're looking at them and we're weighing them and we're balancing them, we're taking one, what is the heaviest as most precedent? What is on our mind the most is what it is that we're dealing with, not the easiest thing that we can pick from the bunch. We're taking we're taking the biggest thing that is causing us the most tipsy-turviness, the most, like emotional outbursts, okay? The most frustration. We are taking that and we are dealing with that first. So we are weighing our emotions and we are seeing what that is. And then we are being, one, very protective of ourselves. Our boundaries are high. Okay, honey, our boundaries are high. We are not letting just anybody walk in and overpress on our boundaries. If we cannot take the venting, we let people know. We are nurturing to ourselves because we're looking out for ourselves right now, because Mercury is asking everybody to review their own shit and work on themselves for the evolution of themselves. Evolution. Mercury wants evolution of the people. Okay? So boundaries high. Be protective of your space, of your heart space. And again, I want to reiterate saying we're taking what is causing us the most damage, what is the most heaviest, and we're dealing with that first, no matter how hard it is, because that is the devil. Okay? And that is what I'm seeing for my group number 3s. Group number 4s. We have the 9 of Cups, the Magician, the 9 of Wands, the King of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, not the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Air, and the 5 of Earth. Now for my group number 4s, I feel like kind of like the same thing, or not the same thing as my group number 3s, but close to. Instead of feeling like you're being pushed down, I feel like my group number 3s did. I feel like you have something that is holding you back. Something that, and it may even be something that you love or once had love for and is having a hard time giving up or getting away from, or a situation that you really loved or had high hopes for. Okay, and that you feel like it's holding you back. All right, and with Mercury is trying to highlight this for you, and it's going to kind of bring in the energies of you noticing and realizing that you are being held back, or that you're feeling like you are being pushed back, even if you're not, even if you already knew. It's really being really prevalent and really persistent into making it self-aware. So this is going to then trigger the fact of you kind of wanting to change this. Within the Magician card is kind of using, and I want to say resources, but your mental resources, and to kind of go and debunk and get out what is the things that are kind of setting you off, and I don't want to say like enraging you, but causing you to feel like it's blocking all of this. Like this is all being blocked. Like this snake is tying up all of this, and that you literally can't get to it. And you literally have to like get rid of the snake. So that's getting rid of what's holding you back from being able to use all of this, which is going to cause you some sort of frustration, because you're going to have to figure out how to unlock it. And it may be because there's things that you have to literally break through or break past to get past being feel like you are being held back. And for a lot of us, I feel like this is people that you don't want to leave behind. For a lot of us, in some situations that you don't, and like there may be some other situations that you don't want to leave behind, or whatever the case may be. And the fact that you like the confliction might be causing some of the like that like rage type, or like irritation, like, or just like exploding type energy that I'm kind of feeling. So make sure that you're kind of watching out for like that type of energy, and you're using it wisely to know that you have to deal with what is holding you back, or what is making you feel like you're being pushed back, that's not letting you move forward. Okay, and within the Knight of Wands and the 5 of Cups, I see you as feeling like that, feeling very determined to get past your like this dissatisfaction, that, and just like this like, I don't want to say tiredness, but it's like just, it's unfulfillment. It's just really breaking past that unfulfillment that you have. And within this is, we have to work with this energy. We really have to align with ourselves, with what is best for ourselves, and what it is that we are truly feeling on an authentic level. Not what it is that we think that we should be doing because we feel guilty because other people are involved, or whatever the case may be. Now, if there is other people involved, you obviously have to be honest about your feelings and how, like, if they've changed or whatever the case may be. Especially if you're doing projects, or if it's like, you know, relationships, or friendships that you just feel that are holding you back, that aren't for your highest and greatest good like you thought that they were, that you have to, one, after you figured this out, you have to be honest about that, of course. And I just feel like I need to put that in there because there's so many people that will feel guilty and just don't know how to communicate. Now, so we're coming in alignment with what is authentically right for us, okay? No matter what cards you are dealt, and sometimes you might have to seem like you are the bad guy because you have to cut ties and make boundaries for yourself for what is best for you because you feel like you are being held back from your purpose and from what it is that you're supposed to be doing and from what is going to bring you happiness. So you have to come into yourself despite what is in front of you, despite what's around you, and decide what it is that you want. And you're going to have to be honest with those that are holding you back and the situations that are holding you back. Okay? And I feel like that this might be kind of like flip-floppy. And because of the guilt that you may be feeling, especially in your heart space, because when looking at the Nine of Cups, they're really like pushing, like with the pushback that I'm seeing, it's right straight at the heart. Okay? So please make sure that you are looking at what it is that what is best for you in the alignment of the happiness for your authentic self, okay? Now this is what I'm seeing for my group number 4s. If anybody feels like they need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'd love to work with you. Everybody, please have a great day.